finals run. Got Carly. Carly, how are you doing? What's going on?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on. I'm excited to talk about the roller coaster that is this Timberwolves game.
Absolutely. You been a Timberwolves fan your whole life?
Oh, hell yeah. Since the, Stephon Marbury, KG, Wally
Ooh,
Zerbiak days, I've been locked in.
this is weird. We just talked to Serbiak last episode. We're already talking about Wally Serbiak again.
Did
This is a
you?
weird thing. Yeah, because we were talking
Oh,
about
that's
Miami of
so
Ohio
funny.
and Zerbiak when he was there. And then I was
Uh-huh.
like, man, I'm playing with Zerbiak back in like NBA Live. Like, dude could flick a bucket and just big fan. Those old school jerseys, the black jerseys with the Timberwolf, the trees, the best NBA jerseys in history.
Thank you. I so appreciate it. I mean, listen, I say I've been a fan since the original trees, but we know that the Timberwolves franchise has just been like hellish and terrible until like Cat and Anthony Edwards mainly,
Mm-hmm.
have revived it. But the jerseys were something that you could hang on to as a Wolves fan.
Absolutely. I'm a Bucks fan across state lines, but like,
Oh, you are? Okay.
yeah. So we didn't have as cool jerseys back. That was like our Christmas era jerseys, the green and red, were nasty. But I mean, speaking of Ant and like the whole turnaround thing, I mean, let's get right into it, right? How does this season
Let's do it.
feel compared to like last year's run? Obviously, is the energy in Minnesota different? Are fans like still like cautiously optimistic, or are we feeling more bought in? What's the pulse right now?
If you were to ask me the vibe before we just acquired Io and brought back Kyle Anderson, I would have told you it was like a little bit similar to last year, maybe a little less optimistic. But I feel like having Io on the team and bringing back Kyle Anderson has like revived this team in some like funny, weird way. If you're a Wolves fan, I feel like you either really love Kyle Anderson or you kind of roll your eyes because you're just like, he's like a role player that,
Mm-hmm.
is like good leadership can pass, but he's actually pretty impactful.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Here's the deal. The ceiling is higher this year, but the bottom's lower. Like the fallout just seems way more drastic than last year. And, I was just talking to my other Wolves friends. It's like we wouldn't be surprised if we fell into the play-in, but we also wouldn't be surprised if we went to the Western Conference Finals again. Like that's just kind of where you're at, where you're like, are you going to show up and play like you're a contender, or are you going to lose to the Nets by 20 points? Like I don't know. Sometimes with this team, I am riding the optimism wave. I'm locked in because they tend to, when their backs are against the wall, they tend to step up.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping that that's what we see again.
Okay.
Yeah, talk about Io a little bit more. I'm a Bulls guy. I went to Illinois as well, and so I'm a big Io fan. It was bummed to see him be moved, but my Bulls are in basketball hell, so he deserves to win. But what's his impact been for you guys with the T-Wolves? How have you liked what he's done so far?
He's been huge. It's funny. He just kind of fit in pretty seamless.
Mm-hmm.
Like it feels like he's been on the team for the whole season. And, the whole thing with Rob Dillingham, sorry, if you're a Bulls fan, you get to experience. I mean, I hope all the best for Rob. I hope he gets his
Oh, yeah, we're
chance
seeing that show every night. Him and Jaden Ivey and all the cast offs are here.
Yeah, and it sucks it didn't work out. But I think it was such a bummer that clearly it wasn't working with Rob. Mike Conley takes this kind of drastic, like, downward turn with his skill set. And it was like, we don't have a point guard. Cool. Ant, go try to be. Or Dante DiVincenzo here. You're the point guard. And we're like, I don't know about this. But Io has been amazing. Like, I love his demeanor. He pushes pace. He's a good passer. Just seems like a good dude, like good energy. Wolves fans are kind of eating it up right now.
I was gonna say he's been delivering, right? Because Anthony Edwards, is he still hurt, or he just got hurt, or something around those? Recently hurt.
Yeah, he just got hurt. Yeah, he's out.
Yeah,
for possibly 2 weeks.
yeah, that's what it was. And I was just reading something on how Io's kind of been the guy who's stepped up and been kind of thrust into a spotlight a little bit more. He just had a game, almost like had a 20-10 game the other day. So he's been playing well, and I think he's not even played 20 games. I think it's 15 games in Minnesota. I think he's a little over 12 points a game, shooting like 53% from the field. So, I mean, you got good numbers that far, and then especially coming off the bench, he's putting up legitimate like starter numbers. And then the Bulls just out there, like Joey said, in background hell. And he's still young. I don't know how many more years of role he's got, but late bloomer. Yeah. He's found the right situation. He's in a winning culture. It seems like it's really blossomed as a player. So I mean, it seems like the T-Wolves are getting them right now, and probably going to be a guy who's going to get a nice, sizable sum of money because of it too.
I think so.
I mean, would you kind of consider like Edwards obviously face the franchise? Would you say unsung hero that doesn't get enough national recognition making this team go, or is there someone else you would have in mind?
Yeah, I think he's probably got to earn his stripes a bit more, but potential's there. I mean, I have like a pre-answer and then I'll answer. My pre-answer is this team will not do well if Julius Randle and Rudy Gobert don't play well. Like this, we need them, and they're both very flawed players, but very great at what they do. We need those two to play well. But I think if you were to ask a lot of Wolves fans, Jaden McDaniels is the unsung hero of this team. I think people will like say, I think it's a little much, but I'll roll with it that he's the Scottie Pippen to Ant, or they're like really wanting to like manifest that. But if people aren't paying attention to Jaden McDaniels, you really, really should. One of the best perimeter defenders, I think, in the league, has this sort of like Kevin Durant built to him, so he can like shoot over people, but he's got quick feet. Just kind of like cool attitude. Like just you keep an eye on Jaden.
Okay. I mean, I found out he is the cousin of Juwan Howard, former NBA player and coach. But I mean, yeah, 15 points a game is nothing to scoff at. 4 rebounds, 3 assists a game, 52% from the field, 44% from threes through 60 games, like averaging career best right now. I think people are kind of looking through some T-Wolves on Twitter before all this and see what I could find. And I saw some people calling out how his shooting has kind of been like a revelation almost for him this season. Has gotten a lot better. Seems to be something that is around a team's chatter. And like you said, just kind of become a good defensive specialist. And I'm for two-way players. So I'm all the way in on this. He's a Washington Husky. I'm on Washington, so I'm getting on board with this one too.
Right.
But I mean, I followed Jaden McDaniels too much, or the Timberwolves. I'm sorry, before this conversation. But no, I definitely plan to now.
There we go.
See, you're converting new fans every day. It's good.
Look at that.
The trees, you love it. How are we feeling about Chris Finch? He's had his ups and downs with this organization. Is he the right guy to get this team to the promised land and where they want to go? And how have you assessed his tenure and his moves this year?
Yeah, there's a big group of fans that are like the Fire Finch crowd of the T-Wolves. I am not in that group, but I think if things go pretty south in the playoffs, he's likely on the chopping block. However, you can't look at the past few seasons here and scoff at what he's done with the success of the Timberwolves. There's this whole thing where he was playing Mike Conley too much. He doesn't give the young guys enough of a chance, sometimes doesn't manage games well. Team will go on like a run and he won't call a timeout, whatever, nitpicky things, but fair. My whole thing is him and Ant seem to have a really solid relationship where they can call each other out. It gets kind of spicy sometimes, but to me, if you like keeping your superstar happy is probably pretty up there with coaching. So I tend to lean more towards that dynamic and keeping Finch there.
As a Bucks and Giannis fan, and talk about keeping your superstar happy and letting that rule the franchise, it also has its downsides because then you end up hiring guys like Doc Rivers to sink the entire freaking shit, man. So there's ups and downs of that wave of making your star happy. I mean, I agree. You got to make your star happy. But just wanted Jason Kidd to stay around. He was like the only one that wanted Jason Kidd to stay around in that era. And thank God we did it because there's no way the championship ever comes to Milwaukee if Jason Kidd remained the head coach. And I will die on that hill like most Bucks fans would. And then obviously they fired Adrian Griffin because I don't think he's like Giannis got like a Giannis approved guy as much through the season. It's been tragedy ever since Doc has entered the building. So, I mean, I don't even know who's in the market. Have y'all even, for the Fire Finch crowd, either see, is there someone on the bench like coming through the wings, or do they have a plan?
So the assistant coach, Micah, is incredible. And there's a lot of like talk for like pushing him up. And I think he even got a couple head coach interviews last season, decided to stay. But no, that's the thing. I'm like, you're not going to fire him right now, but maybe looking into next season. But no, people are throwing like Mike Malone in the thing. I'm like, we're not getting Denver's coach to come coach this team. Like that's the only name I've heard thrown out there.
Okay, interesting. All right, why don't we get into your what we did with our last NBA fan? We're gonna do it with you because it was pretty fun and it's very nostalgic, and I love doing that in the sports.
Yeah.
Your Timberwolves all-time starting five plus sixth man. Would love to hear what you got. We'll go position by position. You walk us through your lineup, why you picked that player. Maybe we pick someone else in mind that we'll challenge you with, but you're the know-all. So
love it.
Where we start? Point guard. What do we got?
Okay, this one is the toughest because like my obsession with Stephon Marbury came to mind, and he like kind of was responsible for like initiating some of the good stuff with KG. And then Ricky Rubio comes to mind just because it was like fun to have him.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going with Sam Cassell for my point guard.
Ooh, why'd you pick him?
Reason, high IQ point guard, efficient scorer. Really, I mean, him and Kevin Garnett, first Western Conference Finals for the Timberwolves ever. Like, gotta go with like the solid, good point guard.
Okay, I remember. Hey, but I love that we're tying the Bucks in a lot to this too. I remember Sam Cassell with Bucks. Led moment, kicks the ball into the crowd. I don't know if you called one, but he just launched the ball into the crowd, just pissed off. Sam Cassell was a great dude, good coach too. Is he still coaching right now? I thought he was a coach for one of the teams. I thought he was coaching someone.
Yeah,
but he was
I think you're right.
Was he only there for a really short amount of time? How long was he a Timberwolves?
Yeah, it was a pretty short stint. It was just a couple of years.
And so you would put him over Rubio. Wasn't Rubio a pretty slick passer?
He was, but I mean,
1 year Sam
Conference
Cassell
Finals for the first time for your. It was more than 1 year, wasn't it? Sam Cassell.
I remember.
I'm locking Sam Cassell in.
Okay, I love it. You know better than me. Even if it was one season or two seasons, I love the aspect of he was there and won with them. So that's alone enough to justify it. All right,
and it's crazy how a lot of those, and just it's crazy how a lot of those memories and moments form, right? Like you'd think, oh, okay, a point guard's got to be there for 8 years and win this much and that much, and it's like there's these pockets, and I know we don't get them as much now because we see everything social media in 5 seconds. It's old news, but like when you could watch a full game every night, there's those random nights where you go, wow, like this is my point guard of my childhood or my high school or my college years that resonates with you. Like I couldn't tell you the stat line for Sam Cassell, but I remember vividly watching him play. And he also kind of looks like an alien, so that was very memorable to me.
He does.
But
like it was like, oh, like that's that guard.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not going to be a Hall of Fame record breaker, but he's meaningful like to you and to the fans, and like that's what's important.
He was consistent. He was consistent too. Yeah, shiny ball head. Actually, now his career best in points in the 2003-2004 season, 19.8 points per game was his career best of a very long career, and it's almost his career best in assists too. So yeah, Sam Cassell absolutely balled out that season with that team. So respect it. All right, respect. All right.
Thank you. Oh, come on. It's Anthony Edwards.
All right, that's easy. All right, fair enough. Do we even need to describe why?
I mean, I was just gonna say, do you want me to go on my like soapbox demands? We don't have enough time for that. But yeah, Anthony Edwards.
If you had one sentence that you could tell someone who did Anthony Edwards, what would you tell them about Anthony Edwards in like 30-second elevator pitch? I love him. I love him.
I'm borrowing the like stupid, cheesy, shitty thing that everyone keeps saying, like your favorite player's favorite player is like Anthony Edwards. I feel like, right? I feel like that's just.
Mm-hmm. Do you think he's Michael Jordan's son?
Maybe, possibly.
Have you seen the side-by-side? Have you seen the side-by-side?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Joey, you don't talk about side of Jordan Edwards' face?
No, I haven't been fed that in my algorithm yet.
Go ahead and go look at go ahead and go look at that one. It's the same face. It's the same face. Just saying. All right, small forward. Who you got?
I know. Okay, this because of the two it's shifted, but I'm putting Kevin Garnett in the small forward, and you'll understand from my other picks, but well, interchangeably. But I'm putting KG in.
Okay.
Another needs no explanation. I mean, if people don't know Kevin Garnett, I mean, just like shit talking, gritty, amazing defender, like insane good scorer, like anything is possible. Like basically, I'm surprised there isn't a statue in Minnesota for Kevin Garnett. And then, like most Minnesota franchises, was like, fuck this place, I'm going to go win a championship and a different team, and then did it, So.
Yep, pretty much. Small forward speed. Wait, is he a 7-footer? How big is Kevin Garnett? He's maybe the biggest small forward in the history of the planet. Gotta be a 6'11" guy. I mean, I'm really curious to hear if we got KG at small forward, who we got a power forward?
All right. Well, interchangeably, I'm going with Kevin Love. So put him where you want to put him. But K Love is my next guy. Again, like shooting, insane rebounder, passer, all the things that like the Wolves are kind of lacking right now. But just all around good dude. Same story. Tried to stay in there and fight for the Wolves, and then said, "Get me out of here," and goes on and wins a championship. But just like was so solid for the Wolves in that big man role who could shoot. Like before Cat got all the recognition for being so great, I think Caleb was holding it down.
That's true. I mean, I think he's kind of like, people forget he was Wolf to start, to be honest. And he was a huge, big time prospect coming out of, I think it was UCLA, right? I'm not mistaken. I think it was UCLA. I mean, he's got the NBA record for rebound a single game in the shot clock area. 31 boards in 2010 is just absolutely absurd. He had the insane season of 26 and 13. Really bad Wolves team. He was the one guy who kind of stood out. Literally the lifeblood of everything that team done, any win that they had. So yeah, you get him and the big ticket in the same lineup. That's we're already talking about line right here. So now who's the center? This is a big lineup.
Are you ready? Come on. The center is Cat. Karl Anthony Towns rounding out the bigs.
Okay.
And, it's funny. I mean, I grew up in Minnesota. I'm a Wolves fan, but I live in New York City. So the whole like Cat trade for Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo, it did, but it's been funny seeing Knicks fans adjust to Cat and the, his unique style, the whole like zesty, soft shit, but then watching them not giving him enough credit. I'm like, but y'all wouldn't be as good as you are without Cat either. So like, shut up. But Cat is also like one of the dudes that embraced staying in Minnesota and just was like, I'm going to be here through the good and the bad. I mean, still one of the best shooting big men there is. And I can't not include Cat.
That's fair. Damn, this is a hell of a line. But yeah, he's a zesty boy. It is. That was kind of funny coming out. I was just talking about Cat the other day. Like, if the Knicks just run that shit through him, like, let Cat. I mean, we saw what happened. You just put Cat on Wemby. That was a big game for the Knicks, and they shut down Wemby when Cat was the primary defender. It was a shame that it came to with Minnesota. Who would you put the biggest blame on? Was in Minnesota that it never really worked out. And it got to the point of like, we're trading him. Was it more of like the Cat factor? Was it coaching? Was it everything around? Like, what was your take on that era?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the stupid, like, politically right statements to say, like, management and not, like, just, like, being a poor franchise that can't get players to stick. I don't know. I mean, Cat, I think, is a better two guy than the leader of a team. And I think, like, having that pressure on him, he just couldn't rise
Crumbled
to it. And then once Ant came, it was just, okay, great. Ant's the go-to. I'll be the main two guy. And then, they had that the Denver series, Game 7, 2 seasons ago, where the Wolves come back and win. Cat, like, we don't do that without Cat, but then we face the Mavs in the Western Conference Finals. They get spanked because Cat disappears. And I think that that's also part of, like, other than money, trade talks of like, all right, you've had all this opportunity. Now we're finally in the Western Conference Finals and you don't show up. And so I think that had to do with it too.
It's just so frustrating. I can't stand wasted talent. It's like, even with Kevin Love, right? Like, you remember those years. There was not a single playoff year with Kevin Love. Like, that's
really
crazy to think about. 08 to 14, 0.
Oh, that's
Those were dark
crazy.
days. Dark days. Like there were a couple seasons and there were like, I don't even know, maybe the Wolves had like 15 wins. Like it was just bad.
I've been there.
Yeah.
Yep. Again, back to the Bucks. I remember the days with like 20 people in the arena that they're watching the game in the early 2000s. You would see games on the TV, the front rows would just be emptied. No one is in there watching the games. But your sixth man, who's coming off the bench? Who's the sixth man of the year off the bench for this team?
Oh, it's Naz Reid, hands down.
Ooh.
I don't think there's been anybody in the franchise. I mean, and he's already won a sixth man of the year award. I think he can get it this year again too. But if people don't know Naz Reid, I mean, first of all, he's like fan favorite. Like people are just like, he's so beloved. But he can play like 3, 4, 5. He can play the post, but he can like move like a guard, and his like shot release is almost like Steph Curry like is like the quickest like shot release. Just like definite sixth man.
And undrafted dude, which is another crazy thing to see his ascent, and that Minnesota sucked him out of nowhere, and now he's become this like fan favorite guy, which is pretty awesome. Sixth man of the year for an undrafted player just is super rare. Has he won it? If he wins this, he'd become one of the like. If he wins it this year, he'd be very few to win it multiple times, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, with my NBA history. I would
imagine, yeah.
With my NBA history, not many have won it multiple times. But all right, why not Wally Szczerbiak though?
He was my runner-up.
Oh, okay. Seventh man. Wally Szczerbiak, seventh man. You need the shooter.
You do need the shooter, but it's funny. It was a toss-up, but I was like, I picked Sam Cassell out of nostalgia. I was like, all right, we're gonna go more realistic of my Naz Reid fandom.
Okay,
and that's what I love about these. Because
go ahead, Joe.
No, I said that's what I love about these is like, where do you pull these from? Is it nostalgia? Is it current? And it varies by every fan base, either if your team is relevant right now or not. And so that's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, Carly, you make a lot of like Timberwolves content online, I believe. So, or at least on Twitter or TikTok.
I do.
So why don't you tell everyone where they can find you? If any Timberwolves fans are listening, they want to go listen to someone who's a diehard like yourself, where could they find you and see what you're doing?
Yeah. So what is my TikTok handle? Oh, it's cb.wolves is my TikTok. And then I also am part of a group that covers the Wolves on a little bit more of like a serious angle. And that's the Daily Wolves. And that's on like all platforms, podcasts, everything.
Okay. Are they winning the ship this year, or can they get past the Thunder, do you think? Get over the hill, that Western Conference hill?
I think that they can, but I don't know if they will.
If there's one thing that they match up well against her, what do you think it would be?
It is playing Io and Bones and Dante and pushing pace and taking care of the ball. And Julius Randle has to play the best series of his life and then work out.
It just takes Julius Randle out of his skull. Perfect. It's perfect. It's going to happen. Carly, great talking to you. Thanks for educating us on some Wolf stuff.
Hell
of a lineup there, too, by the way. That's the championship bill lineup right there. So, love it.
Yeah, come on.
Love it. And best of luck to them. Hope Ant's all right, gets back. And, I would have no problem seeing the Wolves get their little, Western Conference Finals hump here and, make a championship. You T-Wolves fans, you definitely deserve it. You've been waiting way too long for this type of thing. Way too long. So, y'all fans.
Way too long.
Fans deserve it. So I'm pulling for you. But great talking to you.
Austin.
For sure. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you, guys.
Yep.
We'll
see you.
Bye.